The brutal murder of one of the ministers of the Church of God of Prophecy on Old Harbour Road in St. Catherine, James Johnson, has left members of the church and the community in shock and grief. The 29-year-old minister, an only child for his mother, was gunned down by a man in the church's office sometime after 5 o'clock Thursday. He was the public relations officer of the Church of God of Prophecy and a political enthusiast. The police say Mr. Johnson arrived at the church, parked his car, and entered the building. Shortly after, a gunman entered and opened fire, hitting him multiple times. He was reportedly shot 7 times in the back. The gunman, after killing Johnson, escaped. Mr. Johnson was pronounced dead at the Spanish Town Hospital. Police investigators reportedly recovered 7 spent shells from the scene. The senior pastor of the Church of God of Prophecy, Bishop Junior Headlam, expressed shock at Mr. Johnson's killing.
Well, the church is very distressed. It's a very distressing situation. I mean, who goes into a church and kills someone? I mean, the killing of somebody is already a bad and horrible thing. And then when you do it in a church, it makes the situation even worse. So the church is very distressed. Members are very distressed. Actually, I am trying to bring the church together this evening for, just for us to talk and pray and see where we go from there.
Chairman of the Spanish Town Area Committee and the Spanish Town Revival, Bishop Rowan Edwards, says the attack on the church grounds has left him heartbroken.
I'm very saddened by what has happened yesterday. They walked into a church right here at 41 Old Harbour Road and killed a minister. Now, this is something that is not looking good for the nation. This is very troubling to know that gunmen could have walked into a church so brazen, so bold, and take out somebody who is in the clergy.
He says it's now time for the church to take a stand against crime.
The church has to stand, and we are not backing down. Violence, murder must be stopped in this country. And I think the church ought to rise up stronger than we were before. We ought to send a message loud and clear to all the gunmen, all those of you who have an intent to destroy this nation and the good law-abiding citizens of this country. We want you to know that we are not putting up with it. We are sending a message to all of you who are bent on doing your evils. We want you to know that God is against you, and it's time for you to stop your madness.
Senior Pastor Bishop Headlam notes that giving up or relocating is not an option for the church.
Throwing in the towel is never a consideration. We're going nowhere. We're going to be right here continuing to do the work of the Lord. At no point shall evil win over good. And those who continue to perpetrate evil will themselves with evil be destroyed. And that's what's going to happen. And this is really a call for all of us as Jamaicans and law-abiding citizens to stand against evil, to stand against these marauding gunmen who continue to wreak havoc on our society. I mean, they have no respect for anybody. When are they going to go into the House of Parliament? When are they going to go at some other place? We really do have to take a stand as Jamaican. And as a church, and the Church of God of Prophecy, along with all the other churches, we're not going anywhere.
He says he is confident that the criminals will be caught and prosecuted. The murder took place just days after the state of emergency in the St. Catherine North Division was extended until January 2019. The police are yet to establish a motive for the killing, but investigations are ongoing. Kimberly Broderick, Frontline News.